This is the human heart. Central to our physical body, our survival, revered by poets throughout history as the emotional center of our being. The place we instinctively touch when asked to point to ourselves. And now, what we have known intuitively is being understood scientifically. Researchers are unlocking a new science of the heart that could change everything we know about health and our interconnected nature. Coherence is a state of balance between heart, mind, and emotions, creating a favorable cascade of neural, hormonal, and biochemical events that benefit the entire body. But this phenomenon not only benefits us personally, it affects everything around us, emitting an electromagnetic field that can be measured up to 3 feet outside of the body. When you are in coherence, your heart resonates at the same frequency as the Earth's magnetic field. This frequency positively affects everything around you. When a group of people are in coherence together, this effect is magnified. Could communities synchronized in coherence lower violence, accelerate cooperation, and global harmony? This is the purpose of the Global Coherence Pulse. If we can measure the impact of thousands of people in coherence at the same time, it could lead to a breakthrough in understanding the full potential of the human heart. All you need to participate is your presence and your heart. To take it to the next level, join the research study by downloading the app and getting an HRV monitor to measure your personal coherence. The world needs it more than ever before. Each human heart is unique and magnificent by itself. But imagine what could be possible when we unify.
Hello everyone, and thank you so much for being here with us today for our special Global Coherence Pulse on the consciousness of color. It is a very special, unique show that we put together for you today, including some music, some meditation, and of course a little fun discussion around the consciousness of color. We have a special musical guest who has presented us with a recording that we're going to start today with in a few minutes. Dr. Mama Ivy Hilton is an evolutionary leader, and she also created sound, vibronics, and sonic stress reduction meditation system. She is a world-renowned recording artist, classically trained singer, and incredible metaphysical healer as well. So we'll be playing that here for you in a few moments. I am Jennifer Cahill. I am so grateful to be a part of this wonderful community with you. Joining you today actually from London. I see a couple of other folks are joining from London, so please feel free to pop in the chat. We would love to know where in the world are you joining us from, and to just send a little love and feel this really is a global coherence pulse. We are not alone, and we are all here together. In a moment, I'm going to introduce you to our main guest today, Valérie CORCIAS, who is the founder and co-founder and CEO of MyCoocoon, as well as the Brainbow app, which is a free app that we encourage you to check out. And speaking of apps, we do invite you to be sure that you have your Global Coherence app ready. If you haven't used it before, I know we promoted it a little bit earlier, but when we do our meditations or any sound work, we invite you to use your heart monitor to check in and see your coherence levels. So today, if I could have on screen with me Valérie CORCIAS, who is joining us today from Lisbon, Portugal, which is how I am so lucky and honored to be able to know her. Valérie is wearing, of course, a beautiful color yellow, which is part of what we're going to be talking about today, which is the color of consciousness. Valerie, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you. Thank you, Jen, for inviting me to this wonderful movement.
Yes, it's such a pleasure to have everyone here. I see we have folks from Ireland, Germany, Pennsylvania, Vancouver, Poland, Virginia, all over the world. It's just so much fun to see what a beautiful global community we have built. And shout out to our behind the scenes team who make these pulses possible. We have, of course, Teresa Collins, who often hosts these shows, and an exciting announcement. How many of us love Greg Braden? Greg Braden will be joining us for a special 90-minute pulse next month on August 19th, same time as always, for a deep discussion and a deep dive into understanding our soul's compass. Teresa and I just had a really fun, loving conversation with Greg just this past week, and he cannot wait to be here with each and every one of you in Greater Coherence. So today, as mentioned, I'm going to go ahead and start by showing you a special video and audio thing that Dr. Mama Ivy Hilton has put together for us. But before we do that, I'd like to invite us all to get in a coherent state, to allow ourselves to drop into coherence, which is what these pulses are all about, of course, is bringing greater coherence not only to ourselves, but to the entire world. So let's all just drop in for a moment before Ivy's video and a special musical ensemble starts. And with your eyes open or closed, let us begin by focusing our attention in the area of our heart or chest. Beginning to breathe a little slower and a little deeper than usual. Finding an easy rhythm that's comfortable for you as we allow slow, deep, conscious, loving breaths. Imagining that the heart itself is doing the breathing as we breathe in and out. As we mentally, emotionally, and spiritually prepare ourselves to receive Ivy's beautiful musical vision that ties in color and light and love, I invite you to keep your eyes open for this special video and musical ensemble that Ivy has offered us, and to maybe even uncross your hands, uncross your legs, put your palms up, and let us all drop into coherence, continue our heart-focused breathing as we open ourselves up to more light and more love. Kaylin, whenever you're ready, my friend.
I loved what we see, completely connected with moods and colors and energy. So it was incredible. Thank you, Ivy. Thank you, Jen.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, universe, for being able to create something. In this moment, I am deeply connected to the sense of gratitude to be able to see and hear and feel things. And that's really what we're here to speak about today, right, Valerie? Is this idea that there's so much that we have an opportunity to interact with, and yet we might even be unconscious of it. We might not even be aware that by wearing the color green, I might be stimulating my heart chakra. I actually am here at a conference in London called Global Woman, and Deepak was with us earlier, Deepak Chopra, and I was wearing blue, and I got into a discussion with a Baroness woman who was also wearing blue, and I said, you know, oftentimes I'll wear blue when I want to open my throat chakra. So Valerie, tell us, you are a foremost expert in the world on color. You worked for Pantone, I believe, if I'm saying it right, and were an expert in their color world, and then went on to work with and create MyCoocoon and Brainbow. Tell us a little bit about your color journey and how it was that consciousness and color came to intermingle and intertwine for you.
Actually, it was an incredible journey. We didn't know where we were going, and more we go, more it's deep. So we started 20 years ago. We created the Pantone consumer brand of Pantone. And it was very interesting because for 10 years, we were working with colors, with trends, with prints. And one day we say, what's behind color? I mean, it's not only 2D. I always call it 2D, you know, and so we started this incredible journey. We didn't know where we were going. I mean, I was just saying to my partner, I wanted to be surrounded by color. So we started meeting all those incredible people that has been working on color for more than 30 years, chromatotherapists, aromatherapists, gong masters, And we discovered that color has a vibration, has a frequency, has a power. And so the first thing that we did, we say, okay, how we can cover people with color, you know, and we create a cocoon. And it was a long journey, this cocoon too, because light is very, very important. I mean, the light that you have around you, because actually when you receive the color through your eyes, through the sensors of your eyes, that gives the information to your brain, that gives the information to the melatonin, the serotonin, etc., and it creates your moods. So all this journey with the lights was very important, because we discovered that to be feeling well, you know, in a good mental health situation, you need to have flicker-free lights. So unfortunately today, those lights doesn't exist anymore. But it was great because we met after meeting a lot of chromatotherapists. I mean, we were a little bit crazy because they were saying, what you're doing, technology. I mean, maybe I just go back a little bit on chromotherapy. So chromotherapy, it's very, very old. It comes from the Indian, Chinese, Egyptians. By that time, it was the sun, you know, you close your eyes and you had the energy of the sun going to your body. Then we had the church, you know, with going through the lights of the church. And then has been forbidden in 1924, no more chromotherapy, and retaken in the 70s by all those gurus. We call them the gurus because when we met them, the language, you know, that they were talking about, we said we need to transmit this knowledge to everybody, you know, we don't want to scare people. We know that we're speaking about the chakras. So the chakras, it's all the energies that we have in our body. So it's all the colors, you know, in our body. We have 7 colors, but the colors that we work with are 12 colors. So we have all the intermediary colors. And so we met finally after 2 years, we met Professor Pierre Van Obergen. And when we met him, he said, okay, I love what you're doing, you know, because I mean, I want to transmit my knowledge to everybody. And we arrived to Lyon, you know, with all the project, and he tested our lights, and our lights start making zzz. So he said, no, if you want me to go with you, we have to start again. And we start again because it was very important to bring this project on a very mental health, taking care of human beings and doing it on the right way. And so it was incredible because, I mean, before we started, it was a long journey, but when we start experiencing with people, it was incredible because, so Pierre, what he does, he create like a color test, and through this, so I invite you, as Jennifer said, you can download the app Rainbow, and through this color test, you select colors, but you select colors just as you feel, you know. Normally the first color, everybody say, oh, it's my favorite color. No, you have to go on and go on and go on. And more you go on, more you go deep. And the algorithm of the colors that you select gives you the result of the color that you need to rebalance in a precise moment. So that means that either you're high or either you're down on this color. I take an example. When you're blue, you're more tired. So you need to rebalance your blue. We speak about resets, you know, we like this idea of how you reset your body through this color immersions. And with the color immersions that we do with the lights, we don't go through one color, but we go through all the shades of the color. So that means that your brain has the time to relax and really receive this energy. The other thing, it's always that also that you can close your eyes because it's like the sun, you know, so the color come through your skin, and it's very, very powerful. And what the other thing that is very, very important is that color is related to memory. So you can never say to somebody, use this color or wear this color or put this color in your house. I give just always the same example, but for example, if you burnt yourself with fire, you will have a rejection with red. But sometimes people, they reconnect with those colors. And it's what Jennifer was saying, how we cover ourselves. Today I'm yellow, Jennifer is blue. So it's something that changes all moment of the day, and that you can allow yourself, you know, to feel the colors that we have around, because colors are lights, colors are nature, colors are what we eat, colors are what we smell. So color is a frequency, and a vibration. So it's very, very powerful.
So, Valerie, I would love to know, let's say hypothetically that, and I put Valerie's website, MyCoocoon, and I'll show you Rainbow in a moment because that's pretty cool and it's free to download and use. So, let's say that I'm feeling a little bit depressed. What could I do from eating colors, using colored lights? I mean, there's all sorts of studies out there. I remember actually many years ago I was in London, and a dear friend of mine is a famous opera singer for the Queen, actually, or when the Queen was alive. And I remember the first time I met her, she had these special glasses on that I think were green colored glasses, because much to your point, they've done studies that you could wear green colored or blue colored glasses that will help activate different things in your brain. So if somebody's perhaps having a challenging day today, what color might you encourage them to wear?
Well, so there are different things. So there are colors, there are scientific research that has been done, for example, with blue colors, blue light, that help to regenerate your melatonin. There are studies that has been done in Israel with green color, that green light colors that helps you for headache. But actually, when it's what I was saying before, when you know which color you need, because everybody knows the color, and that's why we love so much when we met Pierre and we work with those color tests, because maybe I'm going to tell you, okay, you're going to get relaxed with, I don't know, purple or red, but it's not the color that you feel. So it's something very, very personal that you have to experience. It's true that then we always say you can extend your experience, because once that you know the color that you need, imagine red, because you need this energy. If you eat red, and this is what the naturopath said, if you have a white plate with pasta and potatoes, you're not balanced. But if you have color in your plate, you're very balanced. So imagine that you have, a tomato, and you have the pickles. And so it's how you discover yourself without being scared to go where you have to go, or what you feel. And this is very interesting. So yeah, there is a lot of about color. There is a lot of symbolism about color. It changes also through culture, through identity, through countries. But what we work with MyCoocoon is this emotional state of color. And that's why, Jennifer, I have to tell you, I love, I have to say, the color of consciousness, because it's true that there is a lot of things that we can explain with science, but it's how we go behind science, so how we feel, how we go in this state of emotional state that is a consciousness state. And this is the power since 10 years that we have been going through this journey of MyCoocoon. We saw all those testimonials of people, they were speaking about what they were feeling. And this is very important. I think it's how we connect with ourselves.
I love this. And I also just want to highlight for anybody who might not be familiar with the correlation of the chakras and how they relate to the different colors. I was sharing this with somebody earlier today. If you're feeling unbalanced, for me, for example, I travel a lot. I'm constantly on the road. So I find myself drawn to the color of red, because red is related to the root chakra, which is the first chakra. So if you're feeling unbalanced, maybe you just went through a move, red might be a good color to wear or to eat. And then followed by that is orange. And orange, of course, is the color of the sacral chakra. And so perhaps maybe you're feeling blocked in creativity. Maybe you want to give birth to a child or to a new business or to a new idea or write something. Then you could either imagine the color orange, you could wear the color orange, or you could eat the color orange. And funny enough for me, I don't think I maybe owned one piece of orange clothing. And then within a month, as I'm building a new company that we're developing right now, I just felt drawn, and I bought an orange bathing suit and an orange hat and an orange kimono. So to Valerie's point, our body naturally knows what it needs. And then from there, so orange is related to creativity, the womb, sustenance. Then you go into yellow, like the beautiful color that Valerie is wearing right now. Now yellow, for example, when I went to a speaker dinner last night here in London, if I'm in a room full of new people, I might feel a little bit shy. I know it's hard to believe, but it's actually much easier to be in a camera. If you put me in a room full of a couple hundred strangers I don't know, sometimes I want to go hide. I'm sure nobody else ever feels this way. So I wore yellow because I knew yellow would help to boost my self-esteem and my confidence. It's related to the solar plexus, that area right above your belly button. And it can really just help to envision like that sense of fire and that yellow. And of course, right above that is our heart, green. So maybe you're going to be having a date or an important conversation with a child or a friend. You might want to eat leafy greens, visualize the color green, think of trees, or maybe even wear green. And that's going to open up and allow your heart to become more open. And then we get to the throat, which is related to the color blue. So when you're wearing
Turquoise,
blue, yes.
turquoise.
Oh, turquoise. See, thank you. I'm glad. She's the expert. So you would wear a turquoise. Please correct me if I'm getting any of these wrong. Turquoise is related to the throat chakra. So if maybe you're doing a speech or you need to present in front of somebody or just connect to the power of your truth, you might want to wear turquoise or eat turquoise or go for a swim in the ocean or go by the ocean. And then, of course, we now make sure I have this one right. For the third eye, Valerie, is that indigo? Is that right?
Then you have deep blue. So deep blue, it's a color that's very, very relaxing and calming, and it's a color that you can use to fall asleep as well. So it's all the third eye. And then at the end, you have the purple. So the purple, it's a spiritual color. It's the crown chakra. And this is a very, very powerful mystical color. And what is very interesting, Jennifer, what you say also, that like how you close your eyes and you cover yourself, with the colors. So it's a way of protect yourself or feel this energy.
Mm, so beautiful. So let's say somebody, to go back to earlier, what do you recommend? Do you want me to show the Rainbow app or do you have it?
Yeah,
I'd love to
sure,
share it with
sure.
people because I think it would be a lot of fun. Let me take off my blur. You're going to see the real flat where I'm at in London right now. And I'm going to pull up the Rainbow app and show everybody. So if you guys can see right now, this is the Rainbow app. It just looks like that. And then you see you have these beautiful colors. It's totally free to use. I know there's probably an easier way we could have done this. And then you're going to say set your mood, and it's going to ask you questions like, do you want balance, creativity, focused, energy, sleep? So I'm going to choose energy right now and then go to the next one, and you go through and you create a profile, and it'll automatically show you the color that you most need. Tell us a little bit more about that, Valerie, and how Rainbow works.
Yeah, so Rainbow, like you showed in the beginning, you can go, so we call them the sensory resets. So sensory resets are 5 minutes that you can have for yourself. Either you can go through your moods, either you can go through what we call the color test. So the color test, what you do, you select colors and you don't think, you just go and you go and you go. And the algorithm of the colors that you select will send you to this sensory reset. You will see a little bit later on, and what is very good is that if you don't want to see it on your phone, you can screencast on your TV. So it's very good because you can have this on big screen in your house, and it changes all the time. So, and behind that you have you can see how many times you have meditated. It gives you like a little feedback of how you feel. And then you can share this color with your friends as well. So it's a way, we always say that color is, we always say color is ageless, it's powerful, it's mental health, it's wellness, and it's get together. So it's a way of connecting people. We always say it's a non-intrusive because you're yellow, I'm yellow. So we're going to have some affinities of the same mood at the same time. So it's, but we really invite you. It's free to download, and yeah, and it's a great moment. We arrived to Rainbow during COVID lockdown, because we said, okay, no more lights. What are we going to do now? And as the quality of the light of the screens became very, very good, today you have TVs with no flickering, and we say, okay, let's bring that to people to their house. So there are moments, like we said, we need times during the day to reset because we're all running. And so how I can stop 5 minutes and connect myself with the rebalancing my energies, my chakras.
Beautiful. And I do want to mention, actually, somebody lovingly put in the chat for us that the correct pronunciation, I believe I was getting it wrong, is chakra, not chakra. So I have been saying it wrong for my entire life. So the correct pronunciation again is chakra. So CHAW. So I really deeply appreciate the person who put that in the chat.
And I'm from Argentina, so I'm sorry for the pronunciation.
It's okay. No, de nada. No problem. No problem. And thank you too for the people who put in there about the fifth dimension. We haven't had her on a pulse yet, but you can see a friend of mine, Kimberly Meredith, has a book called Awakening to the Fifth Dimension, where she talks a lot more about fifth dimensional elements. I can't personally speak to it, so when people are referring to the 12 chakras, the 12 chakras, I am not as familiar with that, but you might want to look up. There's a lot of great research and books out there as well. And speaking of the fifth dimension,
Jennifer, I'm just going to say something about the 12 chakras that is very interesting. There is a project in India, in Auroville, a woman called Mother, and in the 50s, she created like a central dome with 12 rooms where you enter inside the color lights. And the 12 start from a long time, because we always speak about 7, but the 12 is all those in the middle, you know, that we have all those energies in the middle. And I invite you to see this project of Auroville in India, where in the 50s, she was speaking about the 12 chakras.
Oh, beautiful. I had no idea. See, you learn something new every day. And speaking of energy in the fifth dimension, from what I understand related to the fifth dimension, that many of us are popping in and out of it, that, you know, fear, greed, doubt, uncertainty, all are more third dimension. And as we elevate to the fifth dimension, we of course come to this beautiful place of love and bliss. And this is just a fun little PSA that I'm being called to share. We're in a period right now where we might experience more challenges than normal. It started about a week ago. So if you're watching this live, or recording this, I think on July 15th of 2023, and there's this period that rotates every year where we might go through some challenges. I don't know if any of you have experienced like any adversity or challenges in the last week or so since this began. I share this because ask yourself, what do you need? How can you be coherent? When you go through upsets, or when you're tempted to go back into that third dimensional energy of reaction, upset, fear, doubt, I've been there myself. I was just there last night. I noticed I had a trigger that I didn't even know I had. As I was sharing earlier, I know that I get shy. You know, you think you're confident until you're around a bunch of strangers you've never met. And I didn't know I was being triggered. So I just share this because be compassionate with yourself and others. There might be things that'll happen, whether it's in this 3-week period, which ends, I believe, on July 28th of this year, whether it's in this 3-week period or not. Ask your inner wisdom. Ask your heart's wisdom. What colors do I need? What foods will make me feel the most vibrant? And I think that's the best thing that we can all do for ourselves. Valerie, do you have any thoughts on that from a color consciousness standpoint of how we can surf the waves of uncertainty?
First, I love that you speak about that, because I didn't sleep very well last night, and so I thought that something was going on. No, I think that what is very important is to take this time for yourself during the day, you know, a moment that you stop and you know, even you close your eyes, you imagine in which color, you know, the colors comes to you, and you cover yourself, so you surround yourself by the color that you need, and yeah, you take this time for yourself. I think those are times, there are good times at the same time, because it allows us to be completely different, you know, completely taking more time for ourselves. When you spoke in the beginning that we did all those, this project in the north of Brazil in a fisherman village, is where MyCoocoon started, you know, where we saw that people, they were taking time of nature, taking time of breathing, taking time of, and we realized, you know, that we had to bring something. Well, we brought it through color, so it's very nice, you know, but it's this idea of how I can uh, love myself for a while during the day. I can think about myself, and it's true that color is nice. It's a very powerful tool.
Beautiful. Well, on that note, we've been having this lovely discussion on the consciousness of color, and I'd now love to invite all of us, with our eyes open or closed, to continue our heart-focused breathing as we watch, connect to, and ask at the soul level what we are meant to receive from this beautiful meditation that Valerie has so graciously shared with us. And it is a lot of fun. I've done this one several times in preparation for today's show and the pulse, and I really enjoy it. So it may be fun for your first time to keep your eyes open, though just see what your heart is naturally drawn to. As Valerie shared earlier, it's like the sun. If you can still receive the energy of the colors even if your eyes are shut. So feel free to turn on your Global Coherence app, connect your heart monitor if you have one, your heart rate monitor. And, oh, absolutely, I'll put that, Katerina, in the chat for you, the Brainbow app. I'll put it in there right now. So go ahead and deep gratitude to Kaylin, who's handling everything on the back end, and of course, again, the whole Global Coherence team who puts these pulses together. So Kaylin, whenever you're ready, we'll go ahead and do that. Kaylin, can we turn up the volume a little? It's a little quiet, my friend. Thank you.
red. It is the color of vitality and strength. Sense the color orange as an expanding ball of light within you. It is the color of flames that connect you to your sensations. Yellow encourages trust, reflection, and understanding. Notice where in the body you feel the vibration of the color. Sensing the color lime. It's the color of exploration and discovery. Green can promote emotional balance. It helps us take a step back and create space. Turquoise can provide a sense of renewal and a connection to change. Feel your colored energy ball expand and contract with your breath. Sense the color cyan. It is the color of communication that fosters deep listening. Ultramarine offers serenity. It is a calming color. Notice where in the body you feel the vibration of the color. Sense the color deep blue as an expanding ball of light within you. It's a meditative color, connected to the ocean. Sense the color purple as an expanding ball of light within you. It is a spiritual and mystical color. meditation to a close. Deepen the breath. Awaken the body. Make your slow migration back into your physical space. Feel this connected space as an inner smile, radiating out into your day.
Begin to slowly wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Maybe just feel your feet upon the earth as we integrate this magical, mystical, and enlivening color consciousness meditation that Valerie and her team put together for us. Thank you so much to Valerie for joining us today and for sharing your wisdom on color consciousness, and to each and every one of you for being here and playing in this space with us. Valerie, did you have any closing thoughts? Let's see here. Somebody is asking for the name of the app. It's Brainbow. I'll put it in there for everybody. Valerie, would you like to share anything?
No, I thank you so much. I love that to share all this with all of you, and thank you for inviting me, Jennifer. I think it's an incredible movement. We all have to participate, to be all in this movement and bringing all our energies together, to go through this change, and I think that consciousness is very, very, very important today. And this is the path to go, intuition and consciousness.
So beautiful. I think it's an invitation, just to always remember that there are ways to realign ourselves, whether it's heart-focused breathing to get in coherence. If you don't even think of that, maybe just pick up your favorite color and just look at it and be with it and connect to it. And the more tools that we have in our tool belt, the greater our ability to be resilient. Things are going to happen, like the audio not playing perfectly today when it first started. And yet our ability to be resilient is directly tied to our state of coherence. Does anybody have any questions before we wrap up today for Valerie or myself? If so, we invite you to put them in the chat, so we'll give you a moment or two. It seems like everybody really enjoyed it. It was very healing. People really love it. And as a special reminder to everyone, while we wait and see if anybody has any questions that you'd like to share. Oh, it was not the app, Miriam, that we were sharing. It was a special video. I'll check with Valerie. Valerie, do we have permission to share that video with people, the link?
Yeah. No, let's share it with all the people that were here today because it's good.
You guys are
our gift today.
Okay.
And at the same time, you have the same. So it's here we had 15 minutes video that was going through all the 12 chakras. But in the app you have the same with 5 minutes. So there are 5 minutes, so you can make 5 plus 5 plus 5. And somebody asked if we have a desktop. So we create a metaverse that we call the chromaverse, where you can do your color test on your desktop and arrive in a cocoon in the clouds, where you can hear those meditations as well. So I will share it with you, Jen, and then we can share it with everybody.
Oh, beautiful, Valerie. And this is a huge gift, by the way, that she has just gifted us, is the private link to the meditation we just witnessed. I put it in the chat, and I'll be sure to speak with Teresa and Kaylin and the team, and that this goes out in a follow-up email to those of you who are here with us today as a thank you for joining us. I know one person I think was asking that she needs colors with a lot of white. Is there anything related to that around consciousness if somebody likes more white with their colors?
In general, when we are in the white, it's that we need space to think, to clear our mind, and the white is very, very important. It's like black and white. You have all the colors inside, So I think that we have to allow ourselves to be in the white, close our eyes and see which color is coming, But white is I live in white houses all the time because I need to arrive home, and feel that everything is clear in my mind. So white is it's very powerful color.
So beautiful. And thank you
what about black? What about black? Is the same, It's all those colors, black and white. They're they are all those colors together. When you put all the colors together, you get black. So we have to allow us, to go with white and to black and to gray, maybe, there is no recipes. This is the most important that we have learned in all those years. There is no recipes. We just have to feel our intuition, our moods, and what we know what we need. We know what we need.
I think it's so beautiful. I invite everyone, if you haven't tried it before, we are in partnership with Heart Math. Heart Math has a wonderful event coming up later this year in October, which we'll be sharing more about in next month's Pulse. And always feel free to check in with your heart's intuition, just like we began this week by going in and allowing a few deep conscious breaths connected in and out through our heart. When you're in that state, you can literally ask your heart's intuition anything. What color do I need? What's in my highest and best good? And I invite us all, this is just another opportunity to connect more deeply to our soul and our spirit and our soul's compass, which is a perfect tie-in for the special episode that will be airing next month with Greg Braden, the special Pulse. So again, we invite you to join us next month on August 19th, where Teresa and Greg and I will be coming together to discuss our soul's compass. So deep gratitude. Thank you to Valerie. Thank you for all the brilliant questions everyone asked. And thank you for your patience. May we all be blessed with strength and certainty and resilience and the vibrancy of all of the colors of our lives. Thank you for being here with us today and wishing everybody a beautiful weekend.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.